Hey everyone, before we dive in, hit that subscribe button because stories like this don't just keep you hooked, they shine a light on the truths some people desperately try to bury. And believe me, this one lands in a whole different way. I'm Alex, and up until just a couple of weeks ago, I truly thought I had the people in my life figured out. I was sure my buddies were reliable, my girlfriend was faithful, and the future I was working toward felt solid. I didn't want anything extravagant. Just respect, straightforward honesty, and basic decency. Turns out, for certain people, even I was asking too much. It all kicked off during a casual weekend hangout. Nothing big, just a low-key meetup at a local coffee shop where everybody knew each other. My girlfriend Sophia was sitting right next to me, flashing that polished smile she pulls out when she wants to impress the group. I'd never minded it before, but that day something felt wrong. She was scooting a little too close to my closest friend, Ryan, cracking up at every single thing that came out of his mouth like he'd instantly turned into a stand-up comedian. I shrugged it off, though. I wasn't jealous. I wasn't paranoid. I was just relaxing, nursing my coffee, tuning into the regular conversation until Ryan opened his mouth and started the domino effect. Dude, I'm telling you, Alex is the type who'd bring a planner on a date, he said, loud enough for the whole table to hear. Everybody burst out laughing. Not the easy, genuine kind, but that exaggerated, forced roar people give when they know the jab is low, but they love the awkwardness it creates. Sophia laughed the loudest. She even reached over and playfully smacked Ryan's arm like they were in on some inside gag. I put on a grin. Hilarious, I said, even though it really wasn't. But Ryan kept going. For real, Sophia, he added, you're with the most predictable guy around. I bet he says sorry before he even inhales. More laughter. Sophia hid her mouth behind her hand, but her eyes were lit up like she was loving every moment. That's when everything changed. That laugh, that expression, that twist in my stomach, it all connected in one sharp, hurtful instant. She wasn't simply entertained. She was getting a kick out of seeing me get roasted. And Ryan wasn't really joking. He was pushing limits, and both of them figured I wouldn't pick up on it. They assumed I wouldn't react. They were dead wrong. You know that feeling when the room is buzzing but something deep inside you just goes still? That's what hit me. The group kept chuckling, but inside my head, time stopped. Sophia's little smirk, Ryan's smug assurance, the way the others glanced back and forth like they were waiting for the next punchline. I didn't speak up. I didn't have to. Once people reveal their true colors, staying quiet becomes your strongest move. The following day, I started paying closer attention, not with emotion, just cold logic. I noticed how Sophia handled her phone, how she jumped at notifications, how it was suddenly always face down. I'd ask casual questions, and she'd respond too fast or get oddly defensive. Nothing dramatic, but the kind of small changes that only add up when somebody else has captured her focus. And Ryan? He got overly chummy all of a sudden, calling me bro constantly, checking in nonstop, suggesting we hang out. The harder he tried to play it cool, the more obvious it became that things were anything but normal. I kept my cool, though, because losing your temper hands them control. Watching carefully? That puts the power back in your hands. 3 days later, the evidence basically landed right in front of me. I walked into our usual coffee spot, the exact same place where that embarrassing roast session went down, and there they were, Sophia and Ryan, tucked away in a back corner. They weren't touching, weren't openly flirting, just talking. But it was the kind of intimate conversation two people have when they believe they're secretly building something. Heads close together, voices hushed, her smile warmer and softer than anything she'd aimed at me in forever. I didn't march over. I didn't confront them. I didn't even let them spot me. I turned around, stepped outside, leaned against the building, and just took a deep breath. Right then, I realized I wasn't devastated. I was finished. Finished being the punchline. Finished being the reliable fallback. Finished being the guy they mocked while sharing those hidden glances. And truthfully, that sudden calm freaked me out a bit, because once you truly let go, your next steps become crystal clear and unstoppable. I headed home, dropped onto the couch, and for the first time in ages, I made plans just for myself. A subtle payback, driven not by rage but by pure understanding. They thought they were being slick. They had no clue what was headed their way. The weekend rolled around, and I knew it was time. Sophia texted, inviting me out, framing it as a chance to patch things up after some silly mix-up. I smiled politely, agreed, and said sure. But inside, I wasn't heading toward makeup, I was walking into exposure. We met at the same coffee shop where it all began. The aroma of fresh brews, the background chatter, the soft clink of dishes, it felt like the perfect stage for the ending I'd been mentally rehearsing for days. I picked a table facing the door, eyes on the entrance. It didn't take long for Ryan to walk in. He stopped dead when he saw me. That's when the first flash of alarm crossed Sophia's face. She tried to play it off, crack a joke, brush it aside. Hey, it's no big deal. We're just chilling, right? Ryan's gaze bounced between us, hunting for any sign I was still in the dark. Way too late for that. I didn't speak right away. I let them sit in their growing anxiety. The air got heavier by the second. The whole place seemed to shrink as I leaned back, completely composed but totally in control. Then I leaned in just a touch and smiled. I saw it all, I said quietly, letting the words linger. Sophia's hand shot to her mouth, eyes huge. Ryan's jaw clenched. They knew it was finished. Sophia tried to bounce back, force a laugh, but it came out shaky and thin. Alex, it's not what you think, she stumbled. It's exactly what I think, I answered, still steady. And you didn't just disrespect me behind my back. You did it right in front of everyone. You turned me into the joke while the whole group watched, and you loved it. But here's the truth. I don't need your approval to feel good about myself. I don't crave your attention anymore, and I'm definitely not fighting for it. The shop went hushed. A few nearby tables snuck glances, picking up on the vibe. The room practically hummed with their unease. That was the true satisfaction. Not yelling, not exploding, but the quiet strength of knowing the full picture. Sophia went pale. Ryan's posture collapsed.
Nothing more needed to be said.
The message landed perfectly. The joke was done. The lines were drawn, and I was finally free from being the target. I got up, walked out without another word, and felt a heavy burden lift off me for the first time. They could laugh, gossip, whatever, but karma had already handled it. Their choice to mock me openly, to relish the embarrassment, had only sped up their own downfall. And I left feeling calm, composed, and completely out of reach. Sometimes the strongest payback isn't noisy. It's quiet, unavoidable, and it hits faster than anyone sees coming.